Emotional intelligence, it's usually one of those topics that you can see instantly who someone else outside of yourself could use a good dose of, but we never really look at it our personal selves, that we could use some emotional intelligence and to improve upon. And that's the hilarious thing. It's just in our human nature and culture, because it's the first thing that pops up when you think of it. It's like, oh, I know someone else who could really use that emotional intelligence. The context of this is to really embrace our own emotional intelligence and how to navigate forward through complex, challenging times. And there are four forms of emotional intelligence that we stem from and we refer back to, and it's what's been ingrained in ourselves through education and culture and environment and society. And they pretty much stem from: one, the juvenile; two, adolescent; three is adult, mature adult; and four is wisdom, the wise one. And those four places we have as reference points, and that stems from life. In some areas we've matured and flourished through in life and can come up with some great wisdom, and then there are other areas that really challenges us, trigger us right back to juvenile, childlike behavior, and the response isn't necessarily from a place of conscious thought or mindedness, where it's more of a reactivity, and that's where that childlike, juvenile, or adolescent response, like stamping your feet, or it's like a complete immediate reaction, as opposed to working towards the mature adult and wise of digesting the information that we receive, and in situations that we get presented with, and then how we choose to respond to and with those scenarios. So the reason why I'm sharing this is of an upcoming talk I'm doing at a festival called Menergy this coming week, and I will be really looking at and unpacking, especially men. Men have a lot of challenges about communicating and articulating with clarity and succinct specificity of what is actually happening through the complications, and how to often get caught up in a mind base and not necessarily have that relationship between their body together that's congruent with their mind, and try to intellectualize their way through scenarios when the emotions are real raw. And how do we create that congruency and healthy, fluid form of interaction through these volatile times that aren't necessary to avoid, not avoid, but to improve our ways of conversing and communicating, to really get our point across, and also to interact in a healthy way. That's like, if it's a challenging scenario, what's a win-win circumstance that we can evolve from here, as opposed to being one-sided and or it's a fight, or it's a fight for position or communication, or who's right or who's wrong, and or a power trip or anything like that. So we're going to be talking about that in great depth, and this is another major part of my coaching, consulting and mentoring work that I do, help and facilitate those one-on-one, and as well as working in couples, and how, when again, going back to, you can see somebody else, and it might be your partner, who is challenged in areas of being able to articulate what's really going on for them. And so this is the stuff that I'm here and love facilitating, and being a part of the transformation in your own personal life experience to live a really wholesome and fulfilling and incredible life that you truly do love. Thanks, guys.